Oh, look at that. So let me go to here. Oh, here we go. You can hear me? Hi. All right, I'm just gonna leave it on my laptop right now. You can, oh,
Yeah,
is there an echo?
are we on now?
I'm all set. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So do we have, is there anybody there in person or?
Nope, it's just me. Right now I have I have Jocelyn trying to help me with the technology.
Okay.
You're gonna hang out. Jocelyn's gonna hang out with us.
Okay. Good.
Give me the last name, baby. There we go. All right.
We
We
have,
have-
we don't have a quorum,
Okay.
so we have to wait.
I didn't hear back that anybody wasn't coming. Let me just double check my email now.
Okay, I just sent you an email saying, where were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are having a bit of an issue.
Oh, okay, not an issue then. Thank you.
Um. Yeah, I haven't heard from anybody that they're not coming.
Huh.
So I don't know if Trooper Fillion's on today or not. Jocelyn's helping us out. She just feels bad for me. She's just being a good egg, helping me out.
Good.
She's gonna go see if Trooper Fillion's coming.
I'm surprised Deb Holgren isn't on, or, you know.
Yeah, she had said she was coming and she had said she's going to continue, so,
Good.
Are we recording? Did it say we're recording? We're recording.
It
Okay.
said it did, yeah. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
So we're waiting for Deb. Is there a Laura? That's in front of me. Deb, Laura, Trooper Fillion.
No Trooper Fillion today.
No Trooper Fillion today. Okay,
Okay.
that's one no. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many members do we have on this? Is it 5? 6?
6, I think. There's 1, 2, the trooper's 3, Deb is 4, the young man is 5. And then Laura, right. Did she say she was staying on?
I didn't get it. I didn't get that anybody was not coming.
Okay,
But I have not talked to Henry, and I've been trying to get in touch with him, so I don't know that he'll be coming.
okay.
And then, but Laura and Deb both didn't say that they weren't coming.
Okay, so we have 6, that's all we have.
Okay. Yep.
We can still
Oh.
maybe just vote.
Danielle is one of your staff members, right?
No.
Danielle
Mm-mm.
Gillette?
No,
Oh, so
she's
you're,
I represent the middle school.
oh, that's right, that's right. Okay, so we got 3 of us, 3 out of 6, so we got 50%. Still not enough. How is everything at the middle school?
Good so far. We had a great start to the year.
Excellent.
They're doing good, and so far, a lot of buzz around the building, which is good.
Well, Well, it doesn't seem like the other ones are gonna show.
I know. Do we want to just, do we want to, so still like at least go over some of the changes at the YSB?
Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we,
And like, okay,
we can't have an official meeting, so, but we can still discuss things. We just can't make any decisions.
all right,
And so if you could,
perfect.
good.
Let's start there. So, I don't know, I know Danielle, you know, but, there has been a lot of changes over the summer, at the Youth Services Department. And so, the Mansfield Youth Services and the Mansfield Public Schools were in talks over the summer, and they transitioned two positions over to one to the elementary school and one to the middle school. So the two school-based clinician or social workers from the YSB transitioned over to the school. One chose not to stay with the town and did resign, and then Robin ended up transitioning over to the middle school. So she is the school social worker at the middle school. And my understanding is the elementary school has hired had an offer put out, and I don't know when they're starting, but the person did accept the offer and be starting shortly, if not already, for the elementary school. So there'll be a social worker in each of the schools in addition to the psychologist.
And they're not connected to youth services, right?
No, they're not connected to services. They're town Board of Ed employees.
So how many social workers do you now have at youth services?
We have just one. We have Kelly, and then we have Jocelyn, who is here with me. She's off camera. And then we have a supervisor position that is vacant because Katie resigned as of, you know, the 5th, was her last day. And so we've had a lot of applicants for the supervisor position, and we have extended an offer, and fingers crossed that they will take that and hopefully start sometime in October. And so we are working on getting a supervisor. So there'll be two clinicians that are in the youth services, one a supervisor, which is very much going to be like a working supervisor, very similar to what Katie was doing, but because there's only two employees, there's not going to be a lot of supervision. They're not doing school-based anymore. So it'll just be really community prevention, intervention types of based work. And then collaborating with the schools. If, like, say we have a group of kids who were, I don't know, traumatized by some experience, and we need to go in and run groups because the school social workers don't have the time because of everything else that they're doing, like whatever that is, they'll still be collaborating with the schools to do some work as needed, but most of the work will be after the school day.
So who decided that this was going to happen? How did all this come about?
This was conversations that happened between the town and the Board of Ed, and it happened before my time. So I can't honestly answer that, to be honest with you, but there were conversations that happened. My understanding is when Jim, maybe potentially Jim, we knew Jim was leaving at the schools, and so around that time, I had never met Jim, I don't know Jim, so, but he was a social worker there, and my understanding is maybe shortly before he left, there were conversations that started.
But youth services, did they have a voice in what was going to happen to them?
Well, the two social worker positions were supposed to be based in the school. They're supposed to be school-based social workers that were just in the school system.
Right.
And so I don't know that there's going to be a voice for the youth services department in general, because the town kind of went out of business of doing school social work, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We're no longer providing school-based social work services like a lot of the other towns around us don't anymore.
So are two clinicians going to be enough to handle, plus the working supervisor? Will that be enough to handle everything that's going on, like the JSRB and any kid?
The RDT should be fine. I mean, it's twice. I think Kelly does a great job with the RDT. I
Okay.
think that should be fine. I think I think there will need to be some consideration of things, but I don't know that those two social workers that were added in, my understanding, again, and I'm new, is that
Right.
they were for the school. And so really it wasn't it shouldn't have been like a loss to the Youth Services Bureau because they were supposed to be school-based social workers, is my understanding. And so it's just like who they're working for transition. But I'm not sure what it's going to look like, I'm gonna be totally honest, because there are more changes that we will talk about that are happening. So there's the reason why I'm unsure is because we also are collaborating right now with the community center in developing programming and staffing the teen center. And so adding that additional work is where it becomes, I'm unsure of how we're going to do this. If we didn't have the teen center, I think it'd be a different position. But right now, because we have the teen center, I think there's a lot this year of transition is going to unfold some things. I think I really have to get in there and really understand what's happening, really understand the commitment, what we can do, what we can't do at the teen center. And understand all those pieces. We just started taking that over at the start of the school year.
Okay.
So that I can't really answer that question honestly, because I think there's more to pick apart with that.
Yeah, it seems like there's more than what we know, I mean, I understand that those two, those two positions were at the schools. I don't have an issue with that at all. My issue is, they were there anyway to provide extra help if youth services needed them.
Mhm.
And now without them, if
Mhm.
there's a need, but we'll have to wait and
I
see.
think I think what I'm, what we have to be most planful about right now with just the 3 at the youth services is the summer programming. And that is, right, we have time to get there, but that took all 5, right? So like
Yeah.
the summer programming piece is really what I'm thinking about uh, a little bit. And I have ideas, but I mean, nothing that I've like vetted or said was going to happen, but I have ideas about how we could potentially keep summer programming very close to the same. But that all involves, I think, some investment,
And-
financial investment.
And you're going to keep your involvement with UConn, the volunteers, the kids that come
Yeah,
up?
we've reached
Okay.
out to them. Yep. All of our programming, I'm going to say we're keeping our programming the same. We're just scaling back a little bit. So for example, we're still doing pause, but pause is just going to be for first and second graders because that seems to be the group that enjoyed it most. 3rd and 4, not so much, has been the feedback that I've received. From meeting with people, they enjoyed it, but they've just had a different function for the 3rd and 4th graders. And so we're keeping pause for first and second, and then we're doing 3rd and 4th grade Tiger Strong. But we're doing that on Wednesdays at the senior center. And so they're gonna be bused to the senior center and we'll have it there. And then we're still doing Big Friends after school with UConn, in collaboration with them. I've been talking with them and coordinating with them, with the volunteers. We have a meeting tomorrow to iron out some details. I think our Big Friends group, given the population of kids that have been there in the past, we're going to work on some social skills a little bit, embedding that into our mentoring program a little bit more, and really try to kind of focus in some of the work that we're doing with Big Friends. And so I think there'll be some positive outcomes from some of that. We're still doing the My Pride group. We're doing that actually in collaboration with the middle school. So Robin is still going to be on that. And then we have Kelly doing it from our end. And so our department will still be in kind of working with the town and doing the celebration event in June, the Pride celebration event. I'm trying to think of other things that we're doing in terms of programming. EO Smith, we're still doing the smart recovery.
It just
So our
seems,
program is the same.
yeah, the other thing, it just seems to me like they did all this without even consulting with this committee, number one. And it seems like this committee has been locked out of a lot of things. Like we used to be included in the hiring of the supervisor, the program director. We got not, we
Okay.
haven't done that. We've had no input in that. And so I don't know what, if they're not going to run anything past us before they do it, then what's our purpose?
Well, I
Advice
think our
after,
purpose. Good.
I was just going to say, we can advise you afterwards. Well, this, so you just come back and tell us and we have no input. I don't get it. Why bother with us? That's all.
Yeah, I don't know, again, what the normal process is. Like, if I would have known that you guys were involved with the supervisor, then I would have absolutely.
Well,
thought
we've been
about
cut out of that for a while. It isn't just you. It's, before
Okay.
that. But way when there was a different panel manager, we were involved directly, and then
Mhm.
things sort of, then we got, other supervisors,
Okay.
and they cut us out. I don't know so much the manager's office, but,
Mhm.
so I just don't understand, I don't know if anybody else feels that way on this committee. Not that everybody's here, but it just seems silly to have us if you're not gonna, call on the expertise of a lot of people on this committee.
I agree with you on that, Ethel. Like, what
Thank
is
you.
the purpose if we're not, it's Youth Service Advisory Board, what are we advising on if decisions are being made without our expertise?
Yeah, we have no input. So anyway, I mean, I'm not picking on you, Jessica, because I know you had nothing to do with this, so
No, I guess my opinion is maybe is not, but I look at this as we should be kind of looking at developing programming. So there are some things that I would like to see happen. Like I want to, some of what we can do is some surveys. I don't think that we've done a youth survey with youth voices that we can do through our LPC grant in the past. I've been told we haven't done it from Katie when I asked Katie. I'd love to see us do a survey of our youth for prevention and for intervention services, especially for substances, and also kind of other things in the community. But
Yeah,
like, so I have visions of things that I'd like to see happen that I'd like to see us talk about and start thinking about like what makes sense for the youth and for our town. And so I don't know how this has been used in the past. I don't know. I think what you're sharing, Ethel, is maybe been a theme throughout other places as well, not just here potentially. And so at least from what I'm hearing, and so I think maybe part of what we need to do on the next agenda is really just put maybe like redefining our purpose potentially as a topic to discuss. Like I think it's a valid conversation to have.
You know, in the past, there was a survey done a number of years ago. Can't remember how long ago it was, but it was quite a while ago. But there was a survey that was sent out to the town, to even town, just people in general,
Mhm.
what the needs were. So there's
We're working on our own surveys, like our own, like,
good.
Google
Yeah.
Doc surveys, but like, I'd like to do like a formal, like, let's hire somebody to come in and like really do a good survey of all of our youth.
Yep.
But that is nothing I could get done in like the 3 weeks I had before Katie left. So
What's the
I was
matter? You're
kind of,
not a miracle
I'm
worker?
picking my
No.
battle. I'm picking my battles for over this time in terms of we're trying to keep things status quo at least.
Yeah.
I think if we could do that, then that is a huge success for us. And so for this year, and then I think there's a lot of great ideas that people have on the youth service in the youth service department. And so, right, like
Right.
having like a family like chef night, like once a month, where we teach kids to cook and families come in and they prepare meals together and we sit down and we have a meal. Like though,
Right.
like there are great ideas that people have that we really I want to expand. And it's not necessarily like a weekly group that we have to designate somebody
Right.
for. We can do like a one and done type of thing where we can kind of hit more families and get more families to know who we are, what we do, and then try to start kind of touching people's lives in that way.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
But there's lots of ideas, and so
Yeah,
maybe
that's
part
good.
of what we do here is like I think it's a great point. We redefine our purpose, and like maybe part of what we do is like think about ideas. And the youth services can like bring the ideas to here, right? To talk about like what do you guys think about this idea, that idea. But I don't know. I don't know what the original purpose was. I'll have to go back and read the charge because I
Yeah.
can't remember. I have like 5 or 6 committees I sit on, so I can't remember this charge. And so if I'll have to read the charge and we can come back and redefine what we want to work on, I think.
I've been on this committee for way too many years, probably, number one. So I remember what it was like years ago and how it's evolved. And we used to have more input into what was happening.
Mhm.
And, lately, last number of years, it's out the window. And
Okay.
then, of course, the pandemic, and that threw a monkey wrench into everything anyway,
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I
All right.
have that down.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
youth services has always done a great job. That's not that's not my
yeah,
complaint
no,
at
I hear what
all.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So in terms of other updates, I'm trying to think, we had our great summer programs. I have to say the Mustangs worked hard and they did a ton of stuff. They bagged 400. Um, let's see. Nope, they were grades 5 to 9. They did 20 youth volunteered and they helped at things like Creative Living Community of Connecticut, which is in Coventry, Terra Farm Rescue, Our Companions, Spring Valley Student Farms. And then they cleaned up some trails and parks, including Mansfield Hollow, and they worked at Horizon Wings. So that was one program that did a bunch of different kind of giving back activities and service learning. And then we had the Covenant Soup Kitchen, which actually cleaned out an entire garage and packed over 400 bagged lunches, interacted with the guests throughout the line, serving food, things like that. Like they had a great experience there as well. And then we had our goal program, which is the adventure-based learning program that Katie does, which ended with a nice, lovely celebratory camping trip. And so they did a bunch of different hiking, canoeing, swimming, ropes courses, things like that throughout the summer. So they had a great, I mean, it sounds like they did a lot of great activities. It does seem that maybe some of the activities, could, like, I think Goal had a hard time. They had like maybe six, was it six, Jocelyn, six people? And then so they brought two kind of mentor types back from last year's that did ninth grade, so like ninth graders. But it seems like maybe we have to work on like recruitment maybe a little bit for some more of these groups, or maybe rethink what we're doing for that summer, but we have time for that. And then we talked about fall programming. There is so Jess Tracy from the Senior Center and I have been talking a lot about intergenerational work that we could do with our youth. And so I'm not quite sure what this will all look like, but we're looking at like, is there like a way that once a month we could have kids come and do some service projects for the seniors? And maybe it's something simple like making blankets, like those fleece
Yeah, that's a good
blankets, or
idea.
fleece
Yeah.
scarves, things like that, right? Where they can give back to the seniors and do things, but it's not, I know the kids don't necessarily love like, shoveling or raking or
Right.
things like that, but like, can they do stuff still to give back? That's still fun. So I would love some more ideas from you all about that as well. And then we're exploring some early childhood programming for during the daytime hours. We're at capacity after school right now, but during daytime hours, like how do we get some more family type of groups and some early childhood groups in? And so Jocelyn's doing a great job looking at that, and Kelly trying to figure out like some family kind of components, like either some parenting work or even just doing work at other times with if we have openings, because Kelly's still here on Fridays, so like after school on Fridays, maybe there's like a group like with kids and caregivers or something like that. We're trying to figure it out, not for the fall because there's enough transitions happening this fall,
Right.
but looking forward to the spring to see if we have it in our bandwidth. So we have like a huge, I want to say it's like 5 pages now of like just thoughts, ideas, brainstorming pages that we're sharing. So that as time allows, we can like pull one that we think we could do and manage and try to start doing some new stuff. So that's the youth services report.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And then human services, it's senior center day, senior center month this month. And so they're celebrating seniors all month long and doing some fun activities. They had grandparents day, which was neat. We had like some little kids show up with their grandparents to the senior center, and like we gave them some toys and stuff from youth services to kind of play with. It was a neat little kind of event. We also have our social service programs that are starting. So anybody who knows people that need like energy assistance, electricity, Medicare, right? The Choices program for those who are on Medicare, all that stuff is starting to start up. So we'll need to, so please get the word out, and I have to repost some stuff, but we'll be doing that. I'm also posting a lot in September. I was supposed to post yesterday, but I'll be doing it today for Suicide Prevention Month on the Human Services page because September is Suicide Prevention Month. So really trying to get the word out there on 988 and all that, those resources that are out there for people who are experiencing suicidal thoughts or know somebody that might be. We have had two open positions. So as everybody might remember, in June, Sarah left the adult services world at Human Services and went and was the executive director. So her position opened up and Jamil filled that position. And so we had 2 positions at the senior center that were open for a program coordinator because Mary had left, and the outreach worker. So we are in the process of hiring for those. We have Amy who is starting for the outreach worker to replace Jamil. So Jamil will be going over to the human services side and hopefully just having 1 job instead of 2. And then we have some great applicants for the program coordinator. So more to come on that one. And then we have our annual agency grants for human services, which Ethel, I know you know about. So we'll be talking about that and reviewing those and hopefully giving some money out from the town to our local agencies that do a lot of good work for us. So those are all the things I had about what's going on and things that are
Thank you.
happening.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Jessica? Anybody? Lisa?
No, good.
No.
She answered all the ones I had.
Perfect. There you go. I try to be prepared.
Danielle, do you have anything?
We were
Uh,
talking.
No questions for Jessica. We've been in communication a little bit through the transition, so that's been helpful. I think, we are aligned in a lot of the things too. Hearing you speak about the like cross-generational service work, that's something that we could see as a huge benefit for a lot of our students. We've done a few things in the past. We've sent kids to the Covenant Soup Kitchen. We've had some trips there but we really want to get into the senior center a little bit more. So anything we can do to collaborate on that, or recommend students or whatever it might be, would be happy to
Okay.
support that work. But
Perfect.
It would seem to me if you could get the kids and seniors, match them up, and there could be just to have them talk to each other,
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean.
Just like a mentoring type of program
Mhm.
almost, but like,
Right.
an
Yeah,
hour
or
a
just,
day. Yeah. Mhm.
just so that kids know that, these people
Mhm.
had lives before they got old,
Well, I
just-
think it helps keep, right, the seniors young too, right?
yeah,
And I
exactly.
do
Yeah.
think the seniors have a lot to offer and a lot of
Yeah, the
knowledge
kids
and
do too.
wisdom. And so I just think it's a great opportunity, and I think it's an easy win. I say easy win because we're all right here and right, but we just have to get the kids. So Danielle, I wrote that down. I'll be in touch with you when we have, I'm hoping gonna have some more time so I can meet with Jess Tracy more because she has lots of great ideas for all this
Good.
stuff too. And so I'd like to pull her
Yeah, the more you can get kids involved, the better.
in. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Well, can't do any other business. We can't accept the
Yeah.
no's. We can't do, but maybe we should find out where everybody is. I'm surprised, that Deb isn't here and they must have forgotten. I'm gonna be
They
generous.
might have, and I think, I'll just, yeah, we'll have to, I'll send the maybe agenda out a little earlier next time and see if we can figure this stuff out, but.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you all so much.
Lisa and Danielle, thank you.
all right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
We'll see you tomorrow.